word you can use to describe your whole college experience?
I think it's one or two.
You might be wrong.
He's right. She is wrong. There's too many to count. Now, when I began in Hostos Community College, there was a million feelings going around. I was nervous and feeling very insecure. It was like if I was beginning high school. But now that I have told you a little bit of my experience, I'm going to let Jay explain to you a little bit of her struggle.
One of the struggles that I faced during college was managing my time with school, work, my boys, including my husband. Because of that, most of the time I was working on my assignments a day before of the due date, which was giving me a lot of stress and a lot of headaches. One thing that impacted most of my college time was that I have to quit my job because I was feeling so overwhelmed because I couldn't handle my job and my homework. Why? Because I was rushing to go to school and rushing to get to work. Plus, I have to rush from work to get to home to help my boys to do his homework, help and cook, and plus that, do my homework, which was killing me. Now, one thing that somebody told me was to rely more on school and to organize myself, which I did. Now, the thing that I did was that I quit my job. Because of that, now I can do my homework ahead of time, and I don't have to be rushing to school, rushing to work, and I have time to be with my kids and time with my husband. A little bit of my struggle. Now I'm gonna let my classmate Carlos share a little bit of the thing that he wished he would have done.
Communication could be the key that you will need for today, tomorrow, and for the rest of your life. Why I'm telling you this? Because of the fact that I wish I would have learned before I would be a freshman in Hostos Community College. Why? Talking to teachers might provide you a lot of information on how to guide yourself to go to the right path. Other stuff that they could guide you is looking for advice. Most of us don't look for advice thinking that us could be enough for everything. If you do everything by yourself, it's not even 50% of what you could do with other people, what you could do 100. 100 means a lot, but it cannot be done by yourself. One of the things that I also wish I would have learned to be as a freshman that I know now as a junior is actually looking for help. For example, advisors, some of the teachers for recommendation and advice. I wish I would have learned before was asking questions. Why? It actually provides us to gain information from professors to do the right thing to get a good grades. Now that I have mentioned all the things that I wish I would have known, let me pass you to one of my classmates so we can tell you all the advice we can.
Advice is the one thing you always need and the hardest thing to get when you're in college. No one seems to want to give it to you. But hopefully by watching our video, you can understand some of our struggles, and hopefully this video will help you and guide you to what you need to do, or maybe it might not. Your choice. So let's start with classes. If you're not an early person, maybe you might want to consider taking a late class. Because you don't want to take an early class if you're having struggle getting up from bed and you can't even make it to class. You're going to pretty much miss half the class and you're just going to be lost. That's not a good thing. So maybe considering taking a late class might help you. You should try it. Or maybe it might help you work around your schedule. That's another thing. Working around your schedule. It really has to be on point. You mean if you're working and you have school at the same time, or maybe for mothers who are working, school, and also being a full-time mom. I know, it's a big responsibility, but you can take it on. Just have your schedule placed how it's supposed to be. If you gotta go to work in the morning, then maybe you might consider taking late classes. Arrange maybe with the school for maybe you can take your job, or maybe you can take an earlier class. That way you can take your child with you. I'm pretty sure Hostos Community College will provide a healthcare for your child. And that way you can have everything in sync. Another thing that you might consider is just taking your time and asking a lot of questions. You can never go wrong. Teachers are always willing to listen.